What's up, everybody? Jaymous here, and today we're going to talk about Destiny 2, because in 1 week's time, Bungie plans to release Curse of Osiris on December 5th, 2018. I have a friend here that will help me get through some of the points of the game, TechnoFirePony19.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So, with the release of Curse of Osiris, Bungie hopes to bring back most of its player base that it lost during the initial launch. So we're going to discuss on what they could do to bring Destiny 2 back to the popular game that it once was. So, Techno, what do you think they should do?
Well, for me personally, I feel that there needs to be a sense of accomplishment reestablished into the game. I feel that everything is pretty much a given, and for those who are constantly on the grind, they're not fully satisfied with what they get in terms of the roles for your weapons or armor.
Like 10 minutes.
And I think they need to reestablish all that as it did in its predecessor.
Yeah, so basically you want each gun and armor to have random rolls, and you grind to get that perfect set that you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It seems too streamlined. Everyone has the same thing, and at this point it basically becomes who has the better connection, because all the guns are the same. No one can really stand out, and even the pro players, they can't really show the knowledge they know because all the guns are the same.
You have two wizards in the middle.
And before we do move on to next focal point, I would like to talk on this a little bit more. I do appreciate Bungie looking out for the more casual players as opposed to the MLG players who constantly get to play this game all day, every day. It's cool for the casual players, you know, not all of us have the time that we want to be able to grind for certain guns to get certain roles. And, you know, I think Bungie, they were going in the right direction, and then somewhere within this, they just went in the completely wrong direction.
Alright, so let's list what went wrong with Destiny 2. First off, I'm going to start with the weapons. It doesn't make sense why there are two primary weapons and one heavy weapon. I feel Destiny 1 had it set pretty well. As any first-person shooter, you have your primary, then you have your special weapons, and then you have your heavy weapons. It doesn't make sense why everything other than primary weapons are in the heavy slot. It kind of slows the game down, and it removes the strategic setups that teams had, especially during raids. And even in this video, as you're watching the Nightfall, you just don't have the power that you used to in Destiny 1. You can't pick off targets quickly or quickly handle a group of targets because you're using two guns that are meant to be weak, I guess, whereas compared to a shotgun or a fusion rifle. What do you think on that?
I definitely concur with the point you just proven. I do see Bungie's point in kind of doing so in this game. They basically didn't want us to cheese raids or nightfalls or any endgame activities anymore that we did in D1. But the problem is they could have done so by balancing it. But what they basically did with this game is they just made the players weak, and they made the AIs, or whatever you call it, the ads, a hell of a lot stronger. But I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. What is one thing that you think ruined this game?
One thing for me that ruined this game, I would probably say, again, it had to be how everything had a set roll, or better yet, the raid gear.
Oh yeah. You don't even have to do the raid anymore, technically.
Exactly. Back in year one of Destiny, when it first came out, to be able to be at level 30, you had to grind in the Vault of Glass, and you had to beat it on hard mode to get that helmet.
Yeah.
And in this game, you don't need to do that. You kind of just need to keep doing the flash points every week and create a guide.
Don't do it now because
the armor that you need, or the guns that you need leveled at 300, so you just put a mod with it and add 5 damage or 5 attack to it. But yeah.
Speaking of, that's a good transition to mods. Personally, it makes sense on armor. If you want to keep a good looking set, and maybe it doesn't have a good roll, you can swap out the rolls, or the perks I should say, with mods. But for weapons, for me, it doesn't make sense because it limits what you can use.
It's opening.
This is especially in the kinetic slot. I have a scout rifle, Frontier of Justice, and I want to use a Jaymous Midnight, but I can't because I never can get a kinetic,
Okay. Get ready for
a legendary mod to bring it to 305. So that's one thing I think they should remove, at least for the weapons, is the mods.
Yeah.
Keep the weapons as they were originally. You just level them up until, or you can infuse them to max light. But the armor is where the mods would work great because you can add, I don't know, super ability, grenade recharge abilities, or something of those lines. So I think they should definitely redo the mod setup.
Another thing I think they should definitely change is class or weapon specific infusions. Back in Destiny 1, you know, say you had a 390 hard light. I don't know why you would want to use a hard light, but just an example, 390 hard light, and you got I don't know, 400 crappy IS Luna roll, and you didn't want that IS Luna. You could literally infuse that hand cannon into your hard light, and your hard light would be at a 400. In this game, you literally have to have the same exact weapon type, so you have to have a hard light and another hard light. You can't have, you know, a kinetic assault rifle and then an elemental assault rifle. They have to be both in the same slot.
You can't have an assault rifle and a pulse rifle, or a pulse rifle and a hand cannon.
Well, regardless, they should still change it.
The point being, yeah, it's extremely, once again, extremely limiting. You can't use what you want because you don't have the proper material. You have the material, you just don't have that small requirement, which is another auto rifle or another pulse rifle to bring it up.
And that kind of brings my whole
Everyone's down.
point of balancing out what they did with this game. Like, it was cool for both casual and
This running shit's
MLG
fucking retarded,
players.
man.
Like I said again, casual players don't have all the time in the world to grind for another, you know, 300 hand cannon to infuse it into their 298 hand cannon or so. And it's also good for MLG players because they don't have to like constantly grind for one specific weapon all day.
Yeah. Alright, so now let's get to the hopefuls of Osiris, though I'm pretty sure what they revealed in the live stream is probably almost everything. So, but I'm hoping eventually they do address these issues. I heard that they do plan to revamp the game just like how they did in Destiny 1. Year 1 is nowhere the same looking, and how everything functions is not even close to what Year 3 ended up being. So I'm assuming they're going to do the same with Destiny 2. So I'm hoping that Curse of Osiris is the right step forward. What are you looking for in this DLC?
Honestly, I can't really say much as to what I'm looking towards because
Stay behind the Vader
I
and
haven't
just
really
keep ducking
seen
up.
what they are promising us as of yet. And as you know, I did give my copy of Destiny 2 up for Battlefront 2, but
Yeah, a lot of the players have dropped this game entirely. Pretty much my whole clan has. I have. The things I'm hopeful for, or not hopeful for, but hoping is the raid. I think other than PvP, the raid is where Destiny shines the most. This raid, the Leviathan, was cool, but it didn't feel important enough. Like, I didn't want to go in there and get the weapons or the armor because it just didn't stand out. So I'm hoping this raid that they're coming out with fixes that and makes the raid gear noticeable. It makes it more important. This especially goes for the guns. It makes
Keep
them
attacking the boss if you can.
noticeable in terms of
attacking the
ability or perks. And yeah, the thing I care about is the raid. Nightfalls, they do need to change. I'm not a big fan of the timer, so I'm kind of hoping they fix that too. They just add modifiers, and you play through the Nightfall, and if you beat it, cool. If not, rearrange your gear and guns and try again. But the whole timer thing, I don't know, just doesn't really make sense to me.
No, I killed it. The
So I'm hoping in
relic dropped.
this DLC they kind of address that. And then PvP. What are your thoughts on PvP? Do you think they can
PvP
revive PvP?
PvP is fine to me. However, there are two things I was very concerned with during my time playing Destiny 2. The first and most important to me being the whole 4v4 thing. Now I know they're kind of trying to go for a little something like what 343 Industries did with Halo 5, trying to make it a little bit more competitive. However, the difference between Halo 5 and Destiny 2 is Halo 5's competitive play was a lot more fast-paced.
No, you gotta. The wizards are there to distract you. That slam the relic into the thing.
Destiny 2
Up
is
top.
just really, really slow. And second, like I know they will
Dunk that
never
shit.
do this, but they definitely need to
Shoot the boss.
either start nerfing some guns or just completely banning them, because a lot of the guns you go up against are just unfair and they completely ruin the PvP experience.
I agree.
Fuck the ads. Shoot the boss.
Pretty much with everything. Change the guns. And let's do some modification. I guess
6v6.
6v6. Yeah, that was pretty good.
We got him.
But that's pretty much everything. We ran out of time, so yeah, that's our little insight on Destiny 2, and hopes that they will bring the game back to the legendary title that it once was, Destiny 1. You know, everyone loved it. We like to get on and play. I'm hoping that they turn things around and make Destiny 2 as fun as it was in Destiny 1. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Techno?
See you.